Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I will introduce my name first. Okay, my name is Vira Amanda, a fourth student at STK Pasha Mansur. So, in this video, explain about novel, poem, and Rytme, such as the definitions, characteristic, and age. So let's take a look. First, novel. Novel is a literary work in the form of a long narrative prose in which there is a series of stories about the life of a character and people around him by highlighting the nature and character of each character in the novel. Novel structure: abstract, orientations, complications, evaluations, resolutions, and coda. Abstract, namely the core summary of a novel as an initial description. Orientations, which is all things related to the atmosphere, time, and place contained in the story of the novel. Complications is sequence of several events that are connected based on cause and effect. Evaluations, namely the structure of the conflict contained in the novel, where the conflict that occurs lead to a certain point. Resolutions, which is the part where there is a solution to the problem faced by the main characters in the novel. Coda, which is the end of novel in which there is usually a message or moral value by conveyed to the reader. Novel elements: there is instructive element, and there is a theme, plot, the setting, figure, characterizations, language style, and mandate. And in instructing elements there is background of author, community background, values found in the novel. Next is types of novel. There is on the three based on the type of novel, like first based on whether or not the event is real, next is based on genre, and last but not least based on content and figure. Based on the whether or not the event is real is fiction novel and non-fiction novel. In based on genre, there is romantic novels, horror novels, comedy novels, and inspirational novels. And in based on content and figure, there is teen lit novel, which is a novel tells about teenage life, song lit novels, which is a novel whose content are inspired by song, chick lit novel, a novel that tells the story in young woman, adult novel, which is a novel whose content are about adult life. Next is poem. Poem is a literary work that results from the expression of human thoughts and feelings whose language is bound by rhythm, dimensions, rytme, compilation of lyrics and stanzas, and is full of meaning. Poem prioritize sounds, form, and also the meaning to be conveyed. A good work of poetry has deep meaning by expressed by considering all elements of language. Type of poem: there is sonnet, limerick, haiku, epic, wisdom, poetry, free verses. Sonnet is short rhyming poetry with line 14. Limerick, a 5-line intelligent poem with a distinctive rhythm. Haiku, the ancient form of writing poetry, is famous for its small size and precise punctuation and syllables needed on line 3. Epic, long narrative portraits in brand language celebrating the adventure and achievement of legendary or conventional heroes. Wisdom, two lines of verse that rhyme and form of unit is on or as part of poem. Poetry, narrative tell events in the form of poetry. Free verses is free poems do not follow the rules. Next is Rytme. Rytme is one form of literary work from or poetry which is generally interpreted as an poem type of stanza consisting of 4 lines with rhymes a. Rytme only the content. Characteristic of Rytme. First, Rytme has a poem. Each line consists of 8 to 14 syllables. Each verse gives a meaning of one unity. Each verse consists of 4 lines of arrays. Rytme has no separate, so all of its lines contain a content and meaning. The meaning in Rytme is determined by subsequent stanzas. Poetic language is figurative. Rytme usually contains stories, tips, and advice. Rhythm in Rytme occurs at every midline. Next is structure of Rytme. The first consists of 4 lines in each stanza. Rytme does not have sampiran as in poetry. In other words, a line contains a meaning. Rytme is not finished in one stanza. The meaning of Rytme is determined by the following verses, almost the same as the paragraph in the story. The reception pattern is a or same rhythm. And last, conclusions. Novel is a literary work in the form of long narrative. There is a series of stories about the life, a character, and people around him by highlighting the nature and character of each character in the novel. Poem is a literary work that results from the expression of humans' thoughts and feelings whose language is bound by rhythm, dimension, rhymes, completion of lyrics, stanzas, and is full of meaning. And while Rytme is one form of literary works of poetry, it is generally interpreted as an old poem type, each stanza consisting of 4 lines which rhymes a. Rytme on the content. Thank you for your attention.